Dr. Mario, I would like to invite you and welcome you for this 7 days International Faculty Development Program organized by the Department of English, Manav Rashtra International Institute of Research and Studies in collaboration with Cape Comorian Trust India and Literary Lemonade Club India. Here I would begin this session with the formal introduction of Dr. Mario Livreo. Though I have a big profile of Dr. Mario, but I would like to take certain things from there. So Dr. Mario C. Livreo is expertise in education, leadership and management, curriculum and instruction, human resources, communication arts, in English, ICT, research, business education, general education, fiscal management, and strategic planning. He is a doctorate of philosophy in education, in major in education management. He has worked with different organizations. He has presented his papers in national and international conferences. He has a good research experience and in academics. I have a big list of his research papers and research area where he has worked with many universities and many organizations. It is a very big list. And he has been called as a guest speaker for commencement exercises in different universities like at St. Stephen School, then NCBA Fairview Elementary Department, Magisri Memorial High School, and King Yan Academy. So he's a man of immense knowledge. He's a man of bundle of wisdom, information, and of course, he's a man of academics. So here I would like to welcome and invite Dr. Mario because I know we all are very curious to listen. So thank you so much, Dr. Mario, to join us. Please take this session. Over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Sohan, for that very wonderful and generous introduction of mine. I'd like to thank also Professor Mutmaina from Indonesia, who invited me to be your resource person. I'd like to thank also Dr. Reggie, who's always trying to connect with me and trying to really remind me of my schedule. So, of course, my kababayan, Dr. Professor Fidel del Castillo, had really set the bar, okay, by really delivering your topic excellently. And if I had known that the topic or the theme is supposed to be mastering the craft of teaching, I could have chosen, okay, a particular topic about the teaching profession. But I will be sharing to you a topic which I am comfortable. Okay, this is about managing and leading schools in the new normal. So thank you for the invitation. I will now present to you my slide. Okay, my presentation here is about managing and leading change for quality education in the new normal. Okay, so as what our moderator mentioned a while ago, I am a school leader. I am a principal for 20 years, and I have had great experience managing a school. So a pleasant morning or afternoon, good evening to each and everyone. Things may never go back to normal. You may need to create a new normal, and that's okay. So we're talking about the new normal. We're talking about the new situations after that COVID-19 hit the whole world. And in the academy, it had changed tremendously, had affected our life as educator, and it also affected the lives of our teachers. I have here some metaphors of the new normal. If you can see the screen, okay, I have different kinds of noodles, and they are created with the same flour, but we would see that in different ways. It's like, for example, the situations that we are in right now. So we would perceive it in many ways. the way we look into what new normal in our country may be different in the way you look into what is new normal in India or in also other countries. So, but again, in the academe, we would see to it that we are looking into what is really possible and what is really that effective in the schools for us to really implement. So, what are the things that we need to change for ourselves? So, what did you change for ourselves during this pandemic? Okay, what changes we also have encountered for the family, for the school, for the community and nation. So let's try to focus about changes in ourselves. For example, as teachers, it had changed dramatically in the sense that from the traditional learning, teaching, learning uh, experiences, teaching and learning activities that you have, it had changed a lot. From the preparation of your lessons, from the preparation of your teaching materials, you have changed. Not only with the way we conduct lessons in the classroom, but also the way we perceive also our environment. Okay, the we perceive about what change is all about. So, what are also the things that we change in terms of how we relate to the family? So, I would see to it that we become or we became closer with our families. It's because we stay at home. So, Mom Fides mentioned a while ago that she can always talk with her brother because he used a certain gadget to communicate with families. So there is this particular phenomenon that we come close together and we share our experiences. And more so, it had affected the school operation. So uh, the school that I'm managing is not quite prepared with the pandemic. Though we are already into some learning modalities, but the asynchronous and synchronous kind of learning modalities are very challenging. Okay, so really uh, we do not really well conduct classes normally. So we use a lot of gadgets. We use computer laptops. We use videos to um, we use videos in the teaching and learning process. So it had changed the way we conduct activities in school, and it had affected also our community and our nation. So these are the things that had changed. And how do we really manage change? The art of progress is to preserve order amid change and to preserve change amid order. So that's according to Alfred North Whitehead, a British mathematician and philosopher. So what is change management? Change management is complementary to leadership of change. Together with leadership is necessary for effective and sustainable change. Okay, so if we want to really implement change, then therefore we know how to manage the implementation of change. And it was abrupt. Okay? Many studies and surveys show examples of poor change management and how it can be improved. So I have read a lot of journals about change management, and change management would really look into how poor management has to be changed because of diversities of school leaders. But with change management that I'm referring right now is about how do we change because we are affected by pandemic. So it means to say that the way we change the program in school has to be managed well. So there must be a certain point of communication with parents, communication with the stakeholders so that they would be able to understand why we implement change. So what to improve in change management? Our concept of change. What is the meaning of change to you? We always say that change is constant, but do we have a clear understanding about what change is? And our
Does
community,
change include changing policy?
yeah. What, sir? and our commitment to change. Okay, so are the people in the academic sector involved in the commitment to change from the top level management to the rank and file? Are they committed for change? Or the only ones committed for change are the management, the administrative staff, and but the rank and file, they're not committed for change. Okay. Did we also change the way we communicate with people? Yes, because we have probably used a lot of the medium, okay, in communicating with people. The way,
Sorry to disturb you, sir. The
yes,
slides are not moving. The
ah,
slides are not moving.
it's not moving. I'm sorry. Well, wait for a while. It's not moving.
We could see your slide, but the slides are not moving.
Here, it's not moving. It's not moving. Just wait for a while. How about this one? Can you see now?
No, sir, you have stopped sharing your screen. So please
Okay.
share your screen first.
Wait. Okay. Sorry. This one. Can you see this? This is light.
Yes, now it is visible.
It's moving. Okay. Is it moving now?
Now it is moving.
Yeah. Okay. So I will just probably use this kind of presentation because I encountered some technical problem with my presentation. So I'm talking about what to improve in change management. Okay. So we changed about planning. We changed about organizing. Okay. We changed the direction of the school mission, visions, or probably our goals. We also have to improve the implementation of all the policies that we craft, the resources, the culture, and the practices. So let me just probably give you a glimpse on how do we define leadership. So leadership has been and continues to be a complex and contested terrain. One reason is that it's hard to delimit. It is characterized by disagreements on the nature and facets of leadership and compromises various disciplines and contrasting histories, traditions, and genres. So leadership is an elusive construct riddled with so much ambiguity that's too hard to even define, let alone study systematically. So we have our own definition of what leadership is. So how do we now manage, okay, the change of leadership? Okay, leading change requires creating experiences for people that reveal new possibilities. Okay, so when we initiate change, we are looking into new possibilities while uniting them to drive strategies that harness the resources to win in the academic community. It requires optimizing the culture of the organization while making investments to drive academic growth simultaneously. So I would like to expound that when we implement change, we have difficulties of also changing the kind of culture that we have, okay? Because it's already part, the way of life of the academic community. So when we implement change, we are trying to reveal new possibilities to our academic community. And there are three C's in effective change leadership. Number one is communicate, okay? Unsuccessful leaders, tended to focus on the what behind the change. So what is the change all about? Or why do we change? Okay, so we have to communicate it, probably through a particular forum or maybe meetings or written communication with the ones being affected. Sometimes when we change and we did not even inform these particular people or affected, there would be chaos in the change process. Okay, number two is collaborate. Bringing people together to plan and execute change is critical. Yeah. When we now start to change and we want to collaborate with people in planning, it's also very difficult because sometimes these people that you are involving, collaborating with, sometimes have different values, have different orientation. And the third C is our commitment. Okay? Successful leaders made sure that their own beliefs and behaviors support change. Yes, are we committed for change? Okay, so what is now the role of managers in the change process? So change is constant. We should know how to handle change. While change leaders show the way and enable change to happen, managers can be said to make it happen. So we managers make things happen. So to effectively implement change, managers need training and development. So for this reason, maybe we try to realize that the reason why we're conducting seminars is for us to really be equipped with skills. So why do we need to have the mastery, okay, on the craft of the teaching profession? Because we're now changing our mindset. Okay, we are now embracing new pedagogy in teaching. Okay, so those are the roles of the managers. What are the key aspects of managing change? So number one is our purpose. Okay, so you have to define the purpose, and then responsibility and willingness to adapt the change. And we use theories of management for change. And then we also have to look into structural and process elements. And the third one, which is part in change management, is political consideration. So we have to also manage emotions and politics when we implement change. Okay, just like for example, in the Philippines, politics is very it can be felt, okay, in the four walls of the classroom or even in the school. Okay, so well, politics here would be something that is positive because it would encompass, okay, the management of people. Okay, so map the political landscape of who will be affected by change. So for example, which department will be affected by change? Is it in the accounting department or the academic department? For example, we have a very few number of enrollees right now, so we need to cut down the numbers of teachers in the school. So we have to really explain to our teachers that they will not be given any load, okay, for this year because of the low enrollment. So who are the ones being affected? Those teachers who are not permanent. Okay. And then identify the key influencers. Assess influencers' receptiveness to change and engage positive and negative skeptics. Okay, so we use dynamic capability theory in managing change. Okay, because this one addresses the strategy. It has the ability to create, extend, and modify resource base to respond to a rapidly changing environment, and it looks into the process by looking into better coordination, learning, and strategic competitive response. And it also enhances dynamic capabilities. So there is this what we call leadership essential needed for change. And this is what we call distributed leadership. So what is distributed leadership? Distributed leadership is a conceptual and analytical approach to understanding how the work of leaders or leadership takes place among people and in the context of the complex organization. It is concerned with practice rather than roles. It builds the capacity for change and improvement. So I got this leadership essential because this leadership essential is more concerned with practice rather than the role. So it's not about the role of a leader anymore, but it is how leader implements change in the change process. So it builds the capacity for change and improvement. Okay, so I'd like to share with you also a leadership model in the new normal. Okay, so I was talking about distributed leadership. So distributed leadership and agile organizations. Okay, so this is a model for the new normal. Ano? We also have distributed leadership, which required to become digitally mature organizations. So we're talking about organizations who are equipped with digital skills. Okay, as like for me, I have some problems with my presentation a while ago because sometimes I use different software programs. I am more into Zoom, so I have also difficulties in using some of the programs in the laptop. Okay, so we must be digitally mature organization or an academic organization. So another one is we also have some shared leadership for digital leadership. So the emergence of digital leadership, okay, development of collaboration and distributed decision making for the digital age, okay, and also dynamics of distributed leadership practices. So change entails risks, and risk entails mistakes. So errors, mistakes, and failures are more likely in change efforts than in a routine task. Yes, so we expect errors, expect mistakes and failures during the change process. Punishing them is dysfunctional. They are the greatest source of learning and development. So if there are probably errors that we encounter along the way, so we do not punish whoever commits the error, but it is something that we have to really embrace. So we welcome change, risks and mistakes. So we welcome change. We also welcome risks and mistakes. So create a blame-free learning culture, which is necessary for successful and sustainable change. So we stop blaming one another. So it's not the pandemic that we blame, okay? So this is a phenomenon that we have to really accept it. So it's not also blaming the school president. It's not also blaming the department head, but this is a part of the change that we have to really embrace, okay? But don't forget that there are also ethical aspects in managing change. So it's not merely implementing change, but you have to look into the ethical aspect. Ethical and socially responsible change contributes to the well-being of all. Yes. So if it is ethically good and socially good to everyone, then we accept change. But if it's unethical, then implementing the change is very difficult. Look into its goals, intentions, processes, access, outcomes, and consequences of change. And education and training play important roles. So the reason why we are here is for us to really learn from sharing of great speakers, for us to learn from the different from experiences of our great speakers, and not only that is we also have to look into what new studies are conducted probably in relation to change. Okay, so managing and leading change in the new normal. What do we do now as leader? Okay, so this one, the time to prepare for tomorrow's success is today. So it's not tomorrow, but it's today. If you want to be successful, we do it today. Here are 4 steps to take, okay, in managing and leading change in the new normal. Take a gut check on your organizational purpose. So what is the purpose of your organization? What is the purpose of your school? What is the aim? What is the vision? This crisis or any test is a good time to ask, does our purpose still matter? Or do we still believe in our mission as much as we did before? So is it now high time for you to change your mission, your vision? Be prepared to call an audible. Leaders must be ready to call an audible, especially in times when things are changing by the minute. Yes, prepared strategies are critical, but strategies need to change as the environment changes. Yes. So we keep on changing. And after the pandemic, what happens again? Okay, we already had purchased a lot of probably resources for the teaching and learning process. So we have already invested in technology. So this would be part of the future academic system. Okay. Third is engage your people by empowering them to be opportunity scouts. Don't shut people out during this crisis. Let them play a role in the response and recovery plan by taking on the role of opportunity scouts. Leaders must equip people with knowledge of the challenges and threats and allow them to come up with solutions. Yes. Okay, I'm sorry. The fourth one is embrace a new starting line. Okay, with a crisis of this magnitude, there is no returning to normal. So we don't go back to normal anymore. This is the new normal. So new starting lines must be created. Leaders must focus on building from where they are now, crafting what could be instead of mourning what was. People need to be encouraged to be innovative as to what possible in the environment. So we engage our stakeholders. Okay, we connect frequently. So thank you for connecting with us from different people of the world. You establish continuous communication channel using your WhatsApp, your email, probably, and then your uh, Facebook, your Messenger, a different medium. Okay. Gather feedback to realign and reinvent. So you have to look into the feedback of the environment. Okay, set up a strong reward and recognition framework. Yes, so recognize your teachers, probably give them a certificate of recognition. You treat them something that you can be with them. Probably have a coffee in the coffee shop. Not only that, by also giving them some perks in doing their best while experiencing these challenging times, and focus on the question, what's in what's in it for me. Okay, so what is it for me? While employees navigate through the new normal, a complex business transformation would be too much for them to accept and advocate. So the characteristics of leaders, managers of change in the new normal are the following. Number one, agility. Number two, resilience. And number three, adaptability. So this is now towards the last slide. A characteristic of a leader is what leaders' activities are required now for crisis leadership during COVID-19. So what do we do now? What leaders need to do for the transition to remote working during the post-COVID-19. So after COVID-19, what shall we do? What leaders' intelligence are required for the disrupted times? Okay, so we have to look into these characteristics. Okay, the intelligence of leader, the redefined leader, competencies of the digital age, and the four leadership personas for the fourth industrial revolution. So thank you. We'll not go back to normal. We're being given the opportunity to stitch a new garment, one that fits all humanity and leaders. So with that, thank you very much for allowing me to share about managing and leading change in the new normal. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Mario. It was really a wonderful session because I can see so many compliments in the chat box. And I can see someone, Sandhu is writing there. He's saying, let me read the message. He said, I feel that we can't really challenge the presence of online education. Instead, how we can optimally use it, it is the real challenge. Role of stakeholders, governments, NGOs, and community to clear roadblocks in the path of learning.
Yes, I agree with that. Yeah. Okay, so very beautiful comment, and I really appreciated your very beautiful comments, and And I hope I have shared something with you, and I really appreciated your time and the warm invitation. So thank you.
Yeah, Dr. Hemanta Singh has also written it was excellent talk. Meena Kumari has also written it was really a wonderful session, and so many more compliments are there in the chat box. And I personally do feel that it was very informative session. And the last slide on which a very positive quote was written, uh, it was really wonderful and it was true actually. We have to stitch apparel which can be fit to us, and this apparel should not be made of cloth. It must be made of humanity and some benevolence nature. Because
Yeah.
now, since 1.5 year, we all are facing a tough time due to this pandemic. And during this pandemic, the one thing which we all have learned, that is the humanity, empathy, sympathy, and the good feeling for others. So I really like the quote by which you have concluded. So it was really a nice session.